You know how I feel. Sun in the sky. You know how I feel. Breeze drifting on by. You know how I feel. It's a new dawn. It's a new day. It's a new life for me, and I'm feeling good. I'm feeling so good. Fish in the sea, you know how I feel. River running free, you know how I feel. Blossom on a tree, you know how I feel. It's a new dawn, it's a new day, it's a new life for me, yeah. And I'm feeling good, yeah. Dragonfly out in the sun, you know what I mean, don't you know? Butterflies all having fun, you know what I mean. Sleep in peace when day is done, that's what I mean. And this old world is a new world and a bold world for me, yeah, yeah. Ooh, for me. Oh, stars when you shine, you know how I feel. Of a pie, you know how I feel, 'cause freedom is mine, and I know how I feel. It's a new dawn, it's a new day, it's a new life. It's a new dawn, it's a new day, it's a new life. It's a new dawn, it's a new day, it's a new and a new way for me, and I'm feeling good. Oh yeah, I'm feeling good. Are you feeling good out there? You look like it.
Thank you so much. I'm feeling good too now. Wow. That's wonderful. Well, welcome everyone to Unity Spiritual Center of Portland. I'm so glad to see you all today. You brought the sunshine in this room since we can't get any outside, it seems. We are so grateful to be together today in this space with all the valuable people who have put this service together and keep us and sustain us and maintain us. I thank you to all our volunteers and staff for bringing us together and helping us stay together. I'm grateful also and have appreciation for this wonderful, beautiful space that we get to be in every day, any day we want to be here. And I want to thank, especially grateful for this beautiful music. It was just amazing. Thank you, both of you. Whole band, fantastic. So I'd like to begin our service today in prayer, if you will join me. We just go into that space of gratitude that we feel for all our blessings. And even if we don't feel blessed for some reason today, we recognize that the opportunity for blessing is always available. And we tune in right now to that infinite mind, that divine love, that intelligence that creates the universe and sustains it. For it is sustaining and always in creative mode with each of us. And if you aren't feeling good right now, let's allow ourselves to at least open the space and make ourselves available for Spirit to do its work, to do its thing. And in this season of prosperity, we are feeling the wholeness and the allness within. And we're setting the tone for this day, this experience, this Sunday celebration service. We're setting the tone with openness, sweetness, and availability to Spirit. And so we let it be. And so it is. Well, I'm Reverend Diane Borsakowski, and it is my privilege today to be your guest speaker. Reverend Lisa Davis, your senior minister here, is away at Unity Village at a convention where she's getting her continuing licensing units to continue in her license. And it's a very good experience. It's their whole movement convention at Unity. I've never been to Unity Village. Have any of you been? Oh, nice. Okay, that's an experience I must have. So that's where she is, and I get to hang out and hold down the fort. And that's really awesome. I'm really glad. And what also is awesome is our wonderful admin, Beth. I was just appreciating Beth a few minutes ago when we were sitting there saying, since she's been here, what an amazing experience it's been for me. Not that it's ever been anything but wonderful here, but Beth adds her own special something about that. She's calm, she's cool, she's collected, and everything just, she is. Everything just runs smoothly. We trust her, and that's a great thing. Thank you, Beth.
Thank you, Reverend Diane. That makes me tear up a little bit, you know? You just never know. Oh, goodness. It is an honor and a privilege to be here and to serve this community. I do have to say that. And so let's get right into the announcements because I know you're excited about that. All right. So at this time, our streamer, Pam, thank you, Pam. Yay. She is up there. She has put the QR code up for our virtual family, for you people at home who are joining us today. And if you'll just take a minute and take a snap of that QR code, that will get you on our mailing list, and you can have a weekly newsletter that tells you about all the fun and exciting upcoming things happening here at Unity Spiritual Center of Portland. So I have to say today's talk is titled Spirit of Generosity, and it's like that has just been manifesting, right, for the last week. And I want to let you know of a couple of exciting things that have happened. We have 660 love notes that have been turned in for Pride next weekend. So we're super excited about that. The Hearts of Pride Project, you guys really came forward and stepped up for that, and we're super grateful for that. You've also stepped up for Coffee and Connection, which we are able to have every Sunday after the service now, so that's really super great. Yes, really great. Socialization and community is so important right now. So we're really, really grateful to you volunteers. And we totally blew our month of giving goal out of the water, so that was fantastic too, which is going to help us get through the summer. So we're just so grateful. And I have to say, Cher pretty much pegged it with our decor this month, and that we are forever grateful. So thank you, Cher. Again, just want to be just so full of gratitude this morning. And we hold all of this in prayer that they will manifest for us, because unity is based on intentional prayer. And so at this time, I'd like to introduce our two prayer chaplains for this morning. If they would stand, Annette and Sherry. Thank you. Yes, our prayer chaplains are such a great service to us. You can pray with them after the service if you feel like you need support. They're available for you up front. You can come and get in-person prayer. If you're not ready to do that, you can pick up a prayer request slip, which is on the lobby. There's also some in the backs of the chairs that you can pull out, and our prayer boxes right here. You can place them in there, and somebody will hold that for 30 days, the prayer team will, and then they send it on to Silent Unity. So we also have Dial-A-Prayer, which is a recorded message that's recorded every couple of days new, and you can call and get a wonderful, inspiring message during the week when you need a lift. So as I mentioned earlier, today following the service, we invite you to come down for coffee and connection. And we are celebrating Pride this month. So I want to mention that we do have some slots available on Sunday afternoon for next week for our Pride booth. 2 to 6, 2-hour shifts. It's a great opportunity. You can go grab some lunch. You can meet a friend back here. I'll even give you a ride down there if you will, if you will sign up. So we're just lacking just a few people. So if you'll come and see Drew, stand up, just so everybody knows who. This is the wonderful Drew who's organized this whole thing for us. But if you'll come and see she or I following the service, we'll be glad to get you on the schedule, and we appreciate you in advance for that. So also following the service today, Letters for Democracy. They're going to be meeting in the chapel. If you're intrigued by this, want to know what that's more about, make sure you stop by and talk to Ann or PJ. I don't know if she's going to be here today. Alice. Anyway, there's a group of them in there. They're going to be writing letters. And if you can't stay, you can always get a packet to take home and do on your own. They will give you instructions on how to do that. And it's just a real important time to remind folks of how important it is to get out and vote this year. So that's the whole idea behind all of this. Next Saturday, the men's and women's groups will be meeting here in person. Men's group meets at 9 a.m. Women's group meets at 1. That's here downstairs next Saturday, the 18th. And great news, new class coming up with Reverend Lisa. This is going to start on July 6th. It's going to run 7 weeks. It's $15 a class. You can pay all at once up front, and you get a discount on that. It's all in your newsletter. It's on the website, unityofportland.org. So that's going to be on Wednesday nights from 6:30 to 8:30. We're going to try to do hybrid. We're going to try to be in person and also Zoom with folks who aren't ready to come in yet. So I'm just putting this out there. If anybody has any experience in that, come and see me. I might need a few pointers, but we're gonna try to get that to happen for all of you, because we do realize that it's important. And I wanna mention too, we are still in need of some streaming support. My streamer Pam, she's got a helper, not quite trained yet to go on their own, but we need some help, or we won't be able to stream on June 26th or July 3rd, because we don't have anybody who's trained to do that. So if this touches you in some way and you want to help us out, please come and talk to myself or Pam today, and we'll get you hooked up with that. Robert, are you in the room? I want Robert to stand up. Robert has been out selling street roots for us every Sunday, and I want to mention that this is his last Sunday with us, maybe for a while, but he is going to Idaho to build tiny homes for houseless. So Robert, we love you, we bless you, we appreciate you. Thank you for being a part of our community. And he'll be out there today with his street roots, so you can go see him and grab one of those and wish him luck on his new journey. Okay, at this time, if this is your first time here at Unity Spiritual Center of Portland, we're glad that you are with us today. If you didn't get a packet out in the lobby when you came in, if you'll raise your hand now, our usher greeters will make sure that you get one of those. Inside, there's some goodies that we want you to look at and take advantage of in the bookstore. On the front of the package, there's a little rose sticker, and if you'll peel that rose off and stick it to your clothing, we'll know it's your first time, and it might get you to the front of the coffee line. But but I want to make sure that we acknowledge we're so grateful you're here. And please join us downstairs for coffee following the service. Lisa says every week how important it is to be a part of a community, and we're just so glad that you joined ours this morning. Thanks, y'all. Have a great week. Yes? Oh, yes. Okay, I'm sorry. I forgot something. Okay, so Sandra Combs, at our annual meeting, we were looking at all different ways to raise funds for the church in order to keep our doors open, because that's kind of been our goal here in the last 6 months. So bingo was one of those ideas. Bingo is going to be happening downstairs here at Unity of Portland, and we're trying to get a team together to help do a little research and find out what the steps are that we need to take. Sandra's already started that process. She knows what needs to happen, and we have a list. We just need some people who might be able to help us research the technical side of that. So she's going to be available outside, right? Outside in the lobby. Where do you want to meet them, Sandra? YOU room downstairs. Okay, so after you get a cup of coffee, about 11:30, go ahead and pop your head in that teen room and let her know of your interest in showing up and helping us get this off the ground. We're hoping to have some dry runs, hopefully this summer. That's our goal in July. So let's support her and help support Unity of Portland, all right? Thanks for reminding me, Sandra. I appreciate it. Okay, you guys have a good week.
Thanks. Let's stand and sing. Join us.
I release and I let go. I let the Spirit run my life, and my heart is open wide. Yes, I'm only here for God. No more struggle, no more strife. With my faith I see the light. I am free in the Spirit. Yes, I'm only here for God. I release and I let go. I let the Spirit run my life, and my heart is open wide. Yes, I'm only here for God. No more struggle, no more strife. With my faith I see the light. I am free in the Spirit. Yes, I'm only here for God. I release and I let go. I let the Spirit run my life, and my heart is open wide. Yes, I'm only here for God. No more struggle, no more strife. With my faith I see the light. I am free in the Spirit. Yes, I'm only here for God. I am free in the Spirit. Yes, I'm only here for God. I am free in the Spirit. Yes, I'm only here for God.
Please remain standing and have an opportunity to greet each other. Say hello, say namaste. The divine in me greets the divine in you. It's so good to see everybody communing in person, physically, moving around again, much more freely. What a joy. And now as we settle in, let's take this lovely energy and go within for our time of meditation. We go within to commune, to experience the oneness that is here with each other, and the oneness that is within in our experience of the presence of the One. It is so close. It is our very breath. And we move ourselves in mind and in heart in this communion, in this celebration of the love that we share. And we allow ourselves to be open and available to the message today as it flows through me, as it flows through you. And we ask ourselves, just how much can I accept of this good, of this God? Just how much belongs to me? The Lord of our being, the law of our being, calls on us right now to prove me. Prove me now herewith, said the Lord of hosts, that I will not open a window and pour you out a blessing so large you will not have room enough to receive it. How much can I accept? Right now, I allow myself to take an inventory of anything that appears to be lacking, missing, lost. And I simply allow those ideas to dissolve. Because instead I choose to prove the laws of prosperity and abundance that tell me I can lack nothing. And I let any beliefs in lack or limitation or loss dissolve. There are no obstructions in spirit. There are no obstructions in me. There are no obstructions in anyone, anywhere. The flow of good is powerful, it is constant, and it is infinite. How much can I accept? Let us move into the silence and allow ourselves to grow in our ability to accept more good.
Let God be God in you. Let God be God in me. Let God be God in everything. God be God in me. Let God be God in everything. Let God be, oh, let God be God in you. Let God be God in me. Let God be God in everything. Let God be. Let God be God in you. Let God be God in me. Let God be God in everything. Let God be. And so it is. When I'm caught up and trying to move forward, trying so hard to find a better way. When my mind won't stop, when I'm beating myself up, I know it's time to stop and gently say, it's enough to feel the breeze on my face. It's enough to just breathe life. It's enough to know the love that's in my heart. And it's enough just looking in your eyes. And to this place of calm and still and wonder, life is magical again, and I am free. And I don't need to know just where or how to go. Right here, right now is all I need. And it's enough to feel the breeze on my face. It's enough to just breathe life. It's enough to know the love that's in my heart. And it's enough just looking in your eyes. Oh, life is a gift. So are you, and so am I. I don't ever want that truth to slip on by. So please remind me that it's enough to feel the breeze on my face. It's enough to just breathe life. It's enough to know the love that's in my heart. And it's enough just looking in your eyes. Oh, it's enough just looking in your eyes. Oh.
Thank you. What a beautiful message, all in that song. It's always enough. It's an interesting time in our lives, discovering whether or not we have enough. As a world, do we have enough love? As individuals, do we have enough love? As a world, do we have enough of what we need available to all? Or does the supply run out? Is there enough? Well, evidently, this community has been exploring some of those ideas in a wonderful book this past several weeks called Spiritual Economics. This is by Reverend Eric Butterworth. This book, I know you've been having spiritual study groups in homes, and some of you have been studying on your own, and we're up to the chapters 10 and 11 right now, which I'm going to try to cover a little bit. And I have my old things to say, you know. This book, however, has made a big difference in my life. It's old. It was published, I think, in 1993, but everything that it talks about in here, about the kids today and the new generations, the 20s and the 30s, the people who are out there trying to make it now, and how they are and who they are. I thought I was reading something I just was in the New York Times the other day. An interesting book. If you've not read it or you aren't in a study group, I do highly recommend it. It's not a book about how to get stuff like some prosperity series are. It's not about how to become wealthy or how to pay off your debt. It is the principles of prosperity that it's about, the spiritual principle of prosperity. Now, this book, as I said, was published a long time ago. I think it was 1993. And that's when I began to study it. I was already a minister, maybe for 8-10 years, something like that. And I was already kind of ingrained in the way I thought church went, you know, the way it was. The ebbs and the flows, the ups and the downs. But this book grew me. It changed me. And as a result, it changed my church. I became known as the prosperity minister. Not because we had so much money or so much people, but because we had enough. We always had enough. When the vision grew, so did the congregation, so did the money, so did whatever it was that we needed, the time, the talent, the treasure, it grew too. This book broke me through. Prosperity is a state of consciousness. It's not a financial state. That's important because in the Western world, we kind of get wrapped up in it's all about money. Well, money is important, yes, but it's the effect of the consciousness that creates it. We approach money in the Western world as if it's about getting. What we can buy, what we can have. And that's really erroneous. Now, there's nothing wrong with getting or buying or being wealthy. In fact, I recommend it. But it's clearly not about that. We have to get something very straight from the start. That is wealth and the stuff that we want and the freedom from debt is the effect of prosperity, not prosperity itself. We want to dwell on the subject, as spiritual students here, of consciousness. We know that consciousness is everything. It's the prosperity consciousness that we are growing here right now. It's something we develop and we grow into. Most of us can't just go into it. We have to grow into it. Because we practice, and in our practice, our use of spiritual principles is what grows us, just like anything. You become a better musician if you practice. Even the best don't ever stop practicing. So we practice spiritual principles, and we start with the spiritual fact, the spiritual truth that you and I already have all that we need. I know your mind's going all over the place about that. Nah, I don't. I'm missing this, I'm missing that. But you really do know it. you do know that you have within you all you need. And that's mostly if you have a healthy prosperity consciousness. You live in that state. I have all that I need. If you happen to be adopting a scarcity consciousness, or you recognize that you have a scarcity consciousness, it's when you're telling yourself, I don't have enough. I don't have what I need. Prosperity is not just about money. It's about the free flow of everything. The free flow of service to and from you, the free flow of expression to and from you, the free flow of knowledge, of health, of ideas and creativity, and yes, also the free flow of currency, whatever that happens to be. Everything a human being needs on this earth experience is always available in abundance. Let that sit with you. Everything is always available in this spiritual universe. We get in trouble when we are not available to it. We shut ourselves off. We cut off the supply, the support, the source. So our job is to make ourselves available, obviously, and to stop blocking our good with our limited beliefs. We have to know what those limited beliefs are. We have to catch ourselves in them when we hear ourselves talking about things. Just in passing, watch your language. Are you prosperous? How prosperous are you? Just think about it. I'm not asking you how big or small your bank account is. I'm not asking you what your real estate portfolio is. I'm not asking you if you have some good jewelry, like your necklace, by the way. It is that I am asking you if you are living in the free flow of the universe and all that that is. The best little word I heard out of this book, and I remembered them from my first reading when it first came out. Eric Butterworth's definition of prosperity happens to be free flow. That is powerful. Prosperity means free flow. So I'd like you to think for a moment, a little example. Think about your kitchen sink. Can you picture it? Look at your kitchen sink and think about last night when you scraped the remains of dinner into the kitchen sink and you turned on the water. Now it's likely the water backed up a little bit in the sink, and the remains of that dinner were blocking the flow of the water to go down the drain. But if you turned on the garbage disposal, suddenly, poof, it was all gone. The blockage was gone, and the free flow of water began. The blockage is gone so that free flow returns. If there's blockage somewhere, it has to be disposed of. You get it. We have blockages to the free flow of prosperity, and our job is not about struggling to get rid of them, to beat them up. Instead, what we want to do is to enter into prosperity. We want to merge with free flow. Enter into the free flow. We are meant to live lives of free flow without obstacles, without delays, no scarcity, no lack. So I'm thinking for myself, and probably most of us, from time to time, we can all use some improvement in our ability to stay in the free flow of the divine. Now, if your sink is backed up in some area or areas of your life, think about How did that come to be? Was it just bad luck that time? Or it was somebody or something else's fault, right? Some institution that just doesn't have it together. And you can't seem to get through that. It's not your fault. Or, this is a good one. You're a victim of circumstances. What kind of dinner remains are backing up your flow? There are a few very simple, maybe not easy, simple and easy are different. There are a few simple things you can do to return to prosperity, to return to free flow when you get yourself in those positions. How to return to your divine inheritance. To return to the state of free flow is to observe what you believe is blocking that flow. Now, did you hear me? I said to observe what you believe is blocking your free flow. It was a trick. Nothing is blocking your free flow, your prosperity. It can't. Because God is all there is. And God is all you are. So a belief that you are not all God and that God is not all there is the garbage that needs to be disposed of. Now remember, prosperity is a state of consciousness. Poverty is a state of consciousness. So the sum total of our beliefs is what our consciousness is made up of. Maybe you have a consciousness of prosperity with money, but a consciousness of poverty in relationships. Or maybe your relationships are in free flow and you have satisfying and fulfilling ones, but you're up to your ears in debt. Or maybe you're somewhere in between in all those areas. So here's a little action, a tool that you can use to work your consciousness. You gotta work your consciousness of free flow. Your set of beliefs about prosperity, about money, about love, about career, about expression and creativity toward a more free-flowing state of goodness. Now, before we discuss the action I'm going to talk about, let's look at setting the tone for getting ready for doing this action I'm going to share. We have to set the tone for an understanding of what it is we are exactly working with here. We are working with spirit. And the aspect of spirit that we are working with is its very nature. And the nature of spirit is abundance. That's a spiritual truth. That is an attribute of what we call God. Infinitely abundant spirit. And not only that, but generous with that abundance. Spirit is free flow of that abundance. But for anything, we have to move our minds to live in that spirit which is generosity. And then, when we're in that tone, we take an action. And that first action is to give. Give what you don't have enough of. Who tensed up when I said that? It's a 4-letter word, give. Do you know why people get nervous when asked to give? Because they think they don't have enough. Do you know why they think they don't have enough? Because they don't. Do you know why they don't have enough? Because they don't give. Spiritual catch-22. So here we are with beliefs again. There is enough to go around. There will always be enough to go around. I'm not talking about finite things. I'm talking about the creative process. There is that abundant nature of the universe that's always, always in activity. The abundant nature of God. The belief that we don't have enough to give is scarcity thinking. And that's an illness. Afraid of risk? How are you with change? How about taking a leap? Bunny hop or grand jeté? How about a couple of chances? Learn how to give by learning how to risk from where you are to where you want to be. To give whatever it is we think we lack. We have to give to live. We have to give to prosper, to live in free flow. Prove me now herewith, said the Lord of hosts, if I will not open a window and pour you out a blessing so large that you will not have room enough to hold it. Wow. That statement is one of the best things, and I don't do much Bible, but that's one of the best things I ever read. Prove me. Prove me now. The Lord of your being means law, the law of your being, the law of abundance and prosperity. It just says to you, just do it. Trust it. Take a grand jeté and give in that area. Everything that we can see, everything that there is, including things that we can't see, comes from a divine idea first in the mind of God. There is infinite mind and its infinite manifestations, its infinite creations. We have consciousness because we come from consciousness. We're in the same mind. Where else do you think you get your ability to think? When you really open it up, then the thoughts get bigger. We have the free flow of divine mind, of divine ideas inherently within us at all times. But just like anything that flows freely, it seems, we have individual choice. And that's where we get in trouble. We can obstruct it, build a dam, clog it up. We can block it, and how we do that is with limited thinking, with limited fearful beliefs. So our job is to just open. Pause the thinking that's scary, because it's not true. You're telling yourself lies. The free flow of divinity that is ours simply because we live, because we have breath. We don't have to earn it, my friends. We have such a work ethic. You got to work hard for your money, right? We don't have to earn this. Because we live, we have this. We don't have to barter for it. We don't have to beg an unwilling God to give us what we need. There's no such thing as an unwilling God. We just need to accept it. That's it. Just accept it. This is who we are. We are unlimited, open and available expressions of the one mind of God, living and moving and having our being in this mind. This is the truth. Expressing in this finite world is our learning experience. Now, the world is finite. The stuff of life has already been created. It is now energyless when it's done and over. Everything is in the past that you can see. But new creation is in this moment and this moment and this moment. So shifting one single thought in this moment puts a new law in motion. It sets it off. Give it a few more thoughts, give it some friends, and then it really takes off. So we don't mistake this finite world to tell us how things are. It's how things were. And the thing is that you can see, everything that you can see, is not all there is. Infinite Spirit is all there is, and we are the open conduits through which the free flow of life gets to express itself. So my prayer is, at this point, use me. Use me. Use me as your instrument of free-flowing love and creativity. Because I don't have to worry anymore about whether or not it's coming or it's not, because it's always coming. And I know that because I've practiced and I practice. I ask for it to use me to express on this plane of existence exactly what is needed at exactly the right place and exactly the right time. Exactly how I've created myself to be so far. Use what I uniquely have. And I get to enjoy myself doing it. Because it's right when I let it use me. There are no obstacles, and I know I'm on the right path. So let me ask you another question to just go inside a little bit. Answer this question to yourself and hold it gently. Where are you lacking in your life? Where are you lacking in your life? Got it? It's okay. The answer is give. Give there. Give that. Give it, give it, give it. Find it to give. You think it's missing, but it's not because you know about it. It's yours. Give that. If you feel lonely, alone, or without love, then where do you suppose you need to give? We get all inward when we get into that kind of a space, that lonely thing, that I'm a poor me kind of sob story. We all do it. You do too. And if you do, then you might need to look at where you are not loving, or where you could be loving. It's not about you. It's not about you. It's about being used by Divine Spirit. And if you're not letting yourself be used, you're not lending yourself and your talents and your beauty, then you're closed up, shut off, and of course you're lonely. But there's got to be a way that you can tap into, and I can tap into, we can tap into that wholeness and fullness that is always present in an abundant universe with an abundant spirit. Prove me. Prove me now. It works. It wants to tell you, please pay attention. Stop thinking that stuff. Come here. I got it all right here. Just be with me. Turn to me. Turn within. The state of the world today, in my eyes, at times, seems to be lacking love in a lot of places, in a lot of ways. And I've decided to take responsibility for that. I take responsibility for that lack of loving. And by taking responsibility for lacking love, I have a practice, an action that I'm taking to open up that free-flowing divine love, divine circuits. I'm turning them on. I give myself the opportunity now every single day, many times a day, to step out in love when I feel like it's missing. Because it's my perception. It's missing because I am. Facebook. Facebook can be a lovely, fun, and informative place to play sometimes. You get to find out what your family and friends are doing, what they're eating, all that stuff. You get to watch kitty videos, my favorite. And at other times, Facebook becomes a bloody cesspool of nastiness and violence. My feed, my personal feed, does not often get the latter, but occasionally, a more public space will roll through my page, and you know what? I engage. Sometimes my reaction is unhealthy. I get fearful, and I get angry, and I get defensive, but because I'm practicing the free flow of love instead of conversing at the level of fear and anger, I give that person who wrote whatever they wrote exactly what they are asking for. I know what they are asking for. In the midst of an argument about right and wrong, about good and evil, they are asking to be recognized as a valuable player with something to offer. Now, how do I know that? Because I know myself. I am not agreeing or disagreeing anymore with what they are saying. I'm not judging them as smart or not smart. I'm not judging whether they are mean or kind. I'm not doing anything except focusing on love. Now, this is my new way of loving, how it looks. I sometimes just say, thanks very much for offering your perspective here. Very valuable, period. Did I agree? Did I disagree? No. And it is valuable because look what it gave me. Look what it gave me. I got to love. I got to choose love and know that everything about whatever the conversation is has love at its roots. That's different for me. I don't usually take the time to acknowledge the presence of another's expression. I'm too busy having my own. I just jump in. I'm so bright, I have so much to say. And, I really should offer my opinion here. But I get to recognize someone else's value, and it is so much more fun to play now. I didn't know that. I couldn't know that unless I tried, unless I practiced it. Because that's what the Earth experience is, my friends. It's about kindergarten. We're here to learn the whole thing. It's a playground for learning. My prosperity consciousness of love is growing. The obstacles to the free flow of love to me and from me are breaking into little bits now. Obstacles aren't hard and solid and mean and difficult anymore. I've let them start to crumble. One day, I trust that those obstacles will be absorbed into the ethers and transform themselves into more ways for me to love. This makes me feel the spirit of generosity. Feel it. And if I'm living it, I'm feeling it. If I'm feeling it, I'm living it. It's on my mind. It's what I look through my eyes to see now. So, also to note, there is zero ego in that behavior, by the way. Zero ego. I don't get to be right, and I don't have to feel wrong. It's pretty cool. Now, I have about, 50 more minutes of stuff to say, but I can't because it's like 5 to whatever. Is that clock right? It's 11. Okay. I have this wonderful story, if you will indulge me, because I want to talk a little bit about prosperity as money, because I know we're so associated with that, and money seems to be one of the bigger lesson plans for many people at different times in their life. And I just want to say what it is about the difference between giving and tithing. Eric Butterworth makes a big, he says it's comparable, but it's not compatible. You know, you have to, when you're giving, it's something besides tithing. And how I learned this when I was brand new to religious science, which is my denomination, very Sisters with Unity. I remember not being, I wasn't a giver. I didn't even think the church had bills. It didn't occur to me, literally, and I end up being a minister. Ironic? A little. But I got past that one too. But I used to give $1 to the collection plate all the time when I was in my 20s. My mother used to give me $1 to go to church in Sunday school. And we were not in the same room, obviously. Sunday school was in another part of the building. The adult church were doing what they were doing. So I had a little $1, and I'd put it in the plate. I feel so good about that. And that was my first experience of giving. I didn't know that my parents gave money too, because I was never in there to see them do it. They never talked about it. That was their generation. They did not talk finances. I did not know. It was a big mystery. So I really didn't have any idea even about paying bills at that point. But here I am in my 20s, and I'm just making my way, earning a living, and I wanted to be an actress. And I wasn't being very successful at that point in time. And this is when I met the church. I met the church by getting a flat tire in front of it. And I went in to use the phone. And it's a long story, but I was in my nightgown with a trench coat on and blood in my hair when I got the flat tire. I'll tell you that one another time. But that's how I went in to find this church. And at the end of the day, the sun was shining, the birds were singing, and somebody changed my tire. And I met a man who was going to tell me how to live the rest of my life in a better way. And one of the lessons, which has to do with this subject, is tithing and giving. I remember sitting in the pew. We had pews at that church. And the collection plate was being passed, and it came to me, and I put my little $1 in it, and I looked at it. There was a $500 check in there, face up, on top of everything. $500? I was like blown away. Are you kidding me? And I looked down the road to see who gave that. Wonder if it's a lady with the big rock on her hand. Oh, stop looking. It's rude. The rest of the service went by without me, because I was thinking, how in the world, who would give $500? Who has that much money? This is a long time ago. And after that service, I started to work for the minister. I started to help volunteer, typing his sermon notes for him, because he wanted to put some stuff together for a book. So I got to read all that stuff. Boy, was it good. I was taking classes, eating this stuff like a starving person, anything I could get my hands on. And one day, I walked into his office and sat down and asked him if I could have a little of his time. And I had a question to ask, and he said, absolutely. I said, somebody wrote a $500 check to the church, and I put in $1. How is it somebody does that? And he did not deal with me at that level at all. He immediately asked me, so how satisfied are you with your financial status? With how you're doing in money in your life? How satisfied are you? I'm like, not at all. I was 20. I had a job. I was typing for a temp agency. And he said, well, if you want to learn how to get ahead in your life, it's not about how much money you make. It's how much of an expression you are. How much your expression is being used. Well, it wasn't being used in typing. I wanted to be an actress. So I learned, long story short, that I made a pact to practice the principles of prosperity and abundance by making a promise to myself to give 2% of my income wherever it was I felt I was being fed or I wanted to help feed. 2% of my income, from $1 to 2%, that was a lot. And I said, okay, I'll do that. And he goes, and it's okay to be scared. But what you have to do in turn is take notes on all the unexpected good you get along the way. Like somebody takes you to dinner and they pay for it, that's unexpected good. So, and also you have to take notes on expected gifts, like your salary, etc. That's not a gift, I earned that. No, it's a part of the free flow of your life. It's a gift, and I am the gift. So I started tithing 2%. I wrote my first check, and I was so scared on that 2% of that check. And as I did it, I was praying and knowing as best that I could that this was going to do miraculous good, and it was going to grow me. And I was scared. And you know what happened? I lost my job. I got fired. I was going to too many auditions. I wasn't available enough. So I had to get another job, and I ran back to Dr. Carlo, my minister, and said, Dr. Carlo, I can't give 2% anymore because I don't have a job. And he said, yes, you can give 2% of whatever it is that you receive. It's a different number, but God doesn't know numbers. God doesn't know money. God does nothing except that it wants to flow its life through you. So I learned that percentages, long story, percentages are only a tool. There's no such thing, no magic number. I worked my way up past 10%. When I was doing taxes some years later and saw how much I'd given and saw it was over 10%, I hadn't thought about it in years. And then I got the idea, how about if I tithe 90% of my income and live affluently on 10%? How does that feel? Kind of exciting? It was to me. And this is, my friends, a way of looking at your own free flow, your limitations you place on it, the scary parts, and all the blessings, the excitement that this will cause. As you look in any area of your life that you think is lacking right now, look at what the obstacles are that you believe are there and realize that you can just blast them. Give them no more weight, no more power. Practice some tools of giving wherever it is you think you're missing something. We are so blessed, and so it is. Thank you. All right, now, guess what? It's time for our collection. It is our opportunity, and I say this with truth, it is our opportunity to give. It's a fabulous opportunity, and it's not about how much, it's about your free flow. Allowing yourself to give with an open heart today in a way maybe you've never experienced before. However much it is, or however little it is, if it's yours and it's coming from love, then that's all that matters, because that is pressed down and multiplied and flowing over. So join me in the affirmation as my offering is up here. Hold in our hands or in our hearts. All the ways that you can give are being put up on the screen right now. You can text the number that you will be seeing shortly. You can write a check and stick it in the plate. You can mail it any way you choose to. The church is ready to receive and thrive and grow. And so let us say together, divine love through me, as me, blesses and multiplies all that I have, all that I give, and all that I receive. Thank you. Amen.
you're standing at the threshold. Don't let fear decide how it'll all unfold. Take one step toward what you love, and let that heart of yours, let it rise above, and trust that you'll have everything, everything you need, beyond illusion of security. Love will provide. Pour it out and let it flow back to you. Oh, love will provide. Cast the doubt aside, 'cause love will provide. Don't let worry drag you down. Put the brakes on worn out thoughts, keep spinning around. Take one step toward inspiration. Let it lift you up into a higher vibration, and know that you have everything, everything you need. 'Cause love is the only true security. Yeah, love will provide. Pour it out and let it flow back to you. Oh, love will provide. Cast the doubt aside, 'cause love will provide. Oh, yeah, yeah. Oh, you gotta let love take you. Oh, no, it will not forsake you. Oh, 'cause love will provide. Yeah. Pour it out and let it flow back to you. Yeah, love will provide. Cast the doubt aside, 'cause love will provide. Cast all your doubt aside, 'cause love will provide. Yeah. Oh, yes, it will.
Wow. Thank you, Lori and Eric, our band. Wonderful. Thank you so much. What's next? Oh, yeah. We sing the peace song. Let's all stand. Join together, connect, and feel the peace while we sing.
Let there be peace on earth, and let it begin with me. Let there be peace on earth, the peace that was meant to be. With God as creator, family all are we. Let us walk with each other in perfect harmony. Let peace begin with me. Let this be the moment now. With every step I take, let this be my joyous life. To take each moment and live each moment in peace eternally. Let there be peace on earth, and let it begin with me.
Beautiful day. Remember, we have chaplains here to pray with you after the service, and we have a wonderful connection hour downstairs. So please do join us. And let's now say our unity prayer. The light of God surrounds us. The love of God enfolds us. The power of God protects us. The presence of God watches over us. Wherever we are, God is, and all is well. Have a prosperous and happy week.